As you guys already know, affordability here in Phoenix is extremely challenging right now, as it seems like it is throughout the country. But if you're looking to make a move here and your goal is to buy a home, you're still doing everything you can to find a deal. And what I mean by that is an opportunity that might present itself to you that might not show itself to the rest of the crowd. But when you're looking for a deal, there are several things you need to watch out for that you might overlook when you're just scrolling through homes on Zillow. So in this video, we're going to take a look at a list of homes that might look like deals on the surface. And then I'm going to give you a list of warning signs that you need to watch out for that might shed some light on why that price might be a little deceiving. And stick around to the end because I want to give you access to a document that will cover every single thing you need to know before you make a decision to buy here in Arizona. So if you think that might be helpful to you, then stay tuned. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into this. I wanted to put this list together for you guys because as we work together, as we're trying to guide you in the right direction when it comes to trying to figure out where you should be living out here, when it comes to areas and neighborhoods and that type of thing, there's several factors that come into play when you're searching around on Zillow and trying to find like what's a good deal. Our goal is to help you find a property that fits what you're looking for and also find you the best deal. So the first one that we're looking at is here in Mesa. I did a search for single family homes up to 350. So these are all the active ones up to 350. There are a total of 18 properties that come up in Mesa. And so let's click on this first one here that's listed for 235. It's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,100 square foot home near Recker and University, built in 1970. As we look through properties like this, you're going to see a lot of commonalities. A lot of them are properties that need a lot of work and that type of thing. So that's going to be something to watch out for, but that's pretty easy to spot. What sometimes isn't easy to spot, or maybe you just overlook it, is the location. And for this particular location, I found that it is sitting right on Recker, which is a busy street. It's maybe not the busiest of streets, and it fronts the property, that type of thing. But just for an example of things to watch out for, I think this is helpful, is watch out for properties that either side, back, or front, just something to be close to a proximity to a busy street, because that can always be a potential value situation where it could hurt you in the long run, that type of thing, or something that you just want to avoid altogether. So when you're looking for those type of deals, that's the number one thing on my list, is look at the location and if it backs or is next to a busy street. All right, next on my list is Gilbert, and we'll take a look at Gilbert. Or I kept the search the same, except for I did have to bump up the price to $450 here to kind of show a general idea of what's going on. So there's a total of 18 properties in Gilbert that are listed up to $450. And again, these are single family detached homes. If we pull up the most affordable one on the list, it is this property on Jasper, which is a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,187 square foot home. Smaller lot, so that's something to keep an eye on as well. But for this particular one, I'm looking at this. This is listed at $360. Everything else in Gilbert starts at $400. And if we go into the photos, it looks like a pretty clean property. This looks like a, well-kept, well-maintained property, that type of thing. So it doesn't look like something that needs work. So for this one, what is something that stands out to me? There could be other things I don't know about, but when I look at this could be a situation where the listing agent or the seller wanted to list the property at a lower price in order to get multiple offers coming in to bid that price back up. So that's the second thing I'm going to put on my list, is properties that are listed for a lower price in order to get multiple offers. Now, just a note regarding that, most of the time that happens on new listings. So again, this one has only been listed for 6 days, so keep an eye on that. If it's been past a certain period of time, let's call it 10 days on the market, I don't think that fits anymore. So if you see anything that's listed low, but it's been sitting on the market for a while, it's probably not the situation that we're talking about. But again, something to be aware of. Real quick, you guys, as we go through this list, I would love to get your feedback on a few things that are always helpful when we go through these videos. Number one, where are you moving from? If you're looking to make a move here to Arizona, where are you located currently? Number two, what has you making a move to Arizona? And number three, what are the most important things that you need to know before making that move? We'll call those comments out, maybe make a video out of it. So definitely let us know down below. All right, let's keep our search in the East Valley here. We're going to move over to Chandler. We're going to keep the price point at up to $450. That's going to give us 16 total properties, single family homes. And there's actually two that are priced right under $350 here. Let's take a look at this first one here. We got a 2-bedroom, 2-bath on a 3125 square foot lot. We've also got a 2-bedroom, 2-bath just under 3,000 square foot lot. And the reason I bring up both of these is they're both in the same category that I want to bring up, and that is looking at the square footage. So this might be an obvious one to kind of keep an eye on, but when people are going through the pictures and you're looking at properties and maybe you're just looking at pricing and you think, hey, this looks like a decent house for the price, and maybe you might miss the square footage is as small as it is. So that's the third thing on my list. Keep an eye on that square footage to make sure you know that it might be a little smaller than you think. So staying in the East Valley again, we're going to head down to Queen Creek, another very popular place to look for a home right now. We're going to keep the list price at up to $450. That's going to give us a total of 13 single-family homes that fit that criteria right now that are currently active. The one that is currently most affordable right now is listed at $379. It's a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,537 square foot home in Pecan Creek South. This has got a 5,400 square foot lot, was built in 2007. So what are we looking for here? Again, you're going to kind of go through the pictures and that type of thing and kind of see, again, a lot of the properties that are in a lower price point might need a little bit of work. So you're going to kind of scroll through that. There's a few things that I'm seeing as I scroll through the pictures that maybe kind of stand out to me. Number one, when you look at this patio structure here, what I'm seeing is maybe work that was done by the seller that kind of maybe looks a little bit questionable, that type of thing. I have no idea what's going on with this post here up against here. I'm also seeing a lot of wear and tear as you kind of look at these properties and that type of thing. The other thing, just kind of looking at it is, was this a seller that kind of built their own patio structure, that type of thing? Again, I haven't seen this in person. Maybe it's better than it is in the pictures, but when I look at it in the pictures, there's some things that potentially could be a little bit questionable. What's going on with, what are they keeping out here animal-wise, that type of thing. So again, I don't want to prejudge everything on this, but there could be some hidden issues. I think the thing that I'm going to put on my list that you need to watch for is hidden issues. And that is something you're going to find by kind of really digging into the photos a little bit to kind of figure out why things are priced the way they are. Another quick reminder for you guys, we have so many people reaching out to us each and every day, and we absolutely love it. So if you're looking to make the move here to the Phoenix area, make sure to reach out to us. We've got a contact info on screen. We're here to help guide you in the right direction. Let's finally get over to the west side now, and let's bring up Peoria. And I changed the list price a little bit here. We're going to go up to $400, and we get a list of 23 properties up to the $400 price point in Peoria. And we see actually a couple here listed at $321, new listing here. I'm going to focus on this new one, or this one that has been up for a little while. This is a 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,187 square foot property. Here, this is a 6,600 square foot lot built in 1960. So again, there's a bunch of things you could take a look at. On this one here, I'm going to call out one thing, and that is the lack of photos. So I think most of the time, if you have a lack of photos, that could be a challenge. And then you sometimes just want to kind of dig into it a little bit deeper there. If you don't see photos, like what are other things you can look at? And sometimes I'll go in and try to see like, hey, is there any issue? And voila, here's what I find. So when you go do a satellite, doesn't mean that this looks like it is, or this is all here right now, but this looks to be a pretty big mess of a situation in the yard. So when you have a lack of photos, maybe dig in a little bit deeper, see if you can kind of do a little satellite searching on these. You might find some things and some reasons why the price is what it is. All right, staying up in the Northwest Valley, let's move from Peoria over to Glendale. And Glendale, you can find a little bit lower price point. So I'm going to go up to $350 here. There are 13 total homes that will come up in Glendale up to $350 for what we're looking for. So as of right now, the lowest one is $246, a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,120 square foot. But as I was doing the search before, there was one that actually just went pending. And this was fun that I wanted to bring it up here because for the list here, I think you might not be able to find on your own, but I was going to put scary comments. So you might see comments in regarding the fix up here, as far as some people are just going to advertise it as a complete fix up project, but I'm going to focus on the notes that were actually listed below. And it says, please do not show if you or any of your viewing party is feeling sick. So to me, that's probably a red flag on that property, on what's going on. I'm trying to remember if there were photos on this one or a lot of photos of what's going on. I'll bring that up real quick to see. Yeah, yeah, so you're looking at a kind of similar situation to the last property in Peoria that had no photos. This is what happens when people take photos and actually put it up, because you can kind of see what's going on. But if you're afraid of getting sick while entering the property, then that could be an issue. All right, let's stay in the Northwest Valley. Again, we're going to head over to Surprise, keeping it at the up to $350 price point. We've got a total of 8 properties that fit within that criteria there. There is one property that is lower than the rest at $299,900. This is 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 1039 square foot, smaller lot, that type of thing. Let's go in and take a quick look at what we're finding. Kind of cruising through the photos here. This actually looks like it's been renovated and brought up to date. So what are the things that would potentially be an issue on this one? It's been 50 days on the market. So what you might see or you might overlook is that this is an age-restricted community. So there are certain areas when you're looking around, especially when you're looking at Surprise or Mesa and obviously Sun City, that type of thing. There's going to be communities that have a lot of age-restricted properties. That could be a potential reason why a price is a little bit lower. So make sure to keep an eye out on that. If you don't want to be in an age-restricted community, that might be a reason why the price looks a little lower. All right, next city on the list is Buckeye, and we'll keep it at $350. Buckeye, it looks like there's several properties that come up to $350. That means you can probably find a little bit better deal. Here are 4 properties listed under $300 in Buckeye. But let's take a look at this one that's listed for $199,900. It's a 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom, 618 square foot. So again, from a size point of view, that might be one of the reasons why. That's not why I'm choosing this one. We'll take a quick look at what's going on here. Again, this is probably a rural part of Buckeye, that type of thing. So several factors at play here, but the one situation that I wanted to call out specifically when you're looking around at your search is financing available? On this particular one, the thing that popped out at me is that there is no financing available. They're looking for cash buyers only. So this might be a property that you cannot get financing on. So when you're looking for a deal and you need to finance the property, that is something that you need to be aware of to make sure that you aren't looking for something that you can't actually even get a hold of if you don't have the cash to do it. So again, on my list is no financing available. All right, next up, let's head south into Pinell County. Some of you may have looked into the city of Maricopa as a potential place to try to find bargains. So let's cover that real quick here. And this was interesting to me because when I did this 0 to 350, it comes up with 104, which is a lot of properties. If I just switch this to 300, there's only 4 properties that are under 300. So the rest of them are all between, so you got 100 properties listed between 300 and 350. That's a lot of properties right now. So definitely it seems like in my mind, that would be a buyer's market in Arizona or a buyer's market in Maricopa, considering how many listings they have. Because if you look at everybody else and all the other cities and stuff like that, the listing count is pretty low. So a lot of listing activity in Arizona or in Maricopa. Keep saying Arizona. I'm talking about Maricopa, the city. And then the lowest price one that we have right now is $199,000, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1268 square foot. I'm going to bring this property up just because we've been going through all these ones. This kind of fits some of the same issues that we've seen in some of the other properties. It looks like a complete mess, a property that needs a complete tear down, a complete gut renovation, something that might not be livable, something that probably doesn't have financing. But for Maricopa specifically, the one thing that I want to bring up is it might be a lot further out than you think. So when you're talking about moving here to the metro area and you want to be closer in, when you look at some of these areas, like let's talk about Maricopa or Casa Grande or Coolidge or Florence, these are areas that are going to be extremely far out from a perspective of trying to get into town. So if you can work remotely or if you've got stuff that you're doing job wise down in that area, maybe it makes sense for you. But if not, it's going to be kind of a hike. And so you might not want to fall into the trap of doing a commute up into the metro area from places like Maricopa or Casa Grande if that is something you want to avoid. All right, let's move over to Scottsdale next. And I actually have a few items on my list when I look at some of the Scottsdale properties. So let's kind of dive into that. Just for the purposes of what we've been doing, I'm going to keep my list and then we're going to go up to $550 for Scottsdale just because the price point obviously increases when you're looking. There are only 2 properties listed under $500 as far as single family homes in Scottsdale with with the most affordable one at $489,900, which is a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom, 896 square foot, 6,900 square foot lot. So obviously from a sizing perspective, you want to watch out for that and that type of thing. When you go through this, it looks like this is probably a flip property. Maybe it was an Airbnb at one time. So there could be multiple reasons why it's priced the way it is. For my list, I'm going to talk about something that is cheap, but maybe not as cheap enough that makes sense when you kind of are comparing to other properties. So not affordable enough in comparison to other stuff. I'm going to pull you into this curve view here. I find this to be a lot more helpful than the Zestimate. This is like the armless Zestimate type of thing. This brings this property up at $369 versus this $489 number. So that's the first thing I'm seeing in Scottsdale that I think you guys need to be aware of. If we go down the list here, I'm going to see these 3 properties listed at $510. Let's go into those. These are properties way up in North Scottsdale that are under construction. You see one sold here and you see the 3 other lots. So the next thing on my list that I think is important to know is either renderings or photos of like a model. And this happens with a lot of builders. They're going to put photos out there of maybe a previous home that was built, and they're going to try to sell you on a home that is either under construction or hasn't even started. So look out for stuff like that. I'm going to pull up a high-end build because I had this situation come up the other day a couple times when people are looking for properties. This is actually, and these friends of mine who are building this property, this is a rebuild the block. But if you're looking in Arcadia and you see something at 3.5 million and you start cruising through the photos here and you're like, wow, check out the design, check out the views and that type of thing. You're like, that's a pretty slick deal in Arcadia proper. If you go into it, it's actually a home that was already built and that type of thing. So watch out for stuff that is photos of previously built homes. That's my second thing. And then number 3, going back into Scottsdale, this is another one for sure. Let's look at this property here. Let's look at the detail real quick. This is a 3-bed, 2-bath, 2.5 bath, 2,800 square foot property. And you're looking at $758 here. Now, if you were to try to look at other similar properties around that same square footage, you would probably think this was a deal. And we'll look at the photos as well. And then I'm going to share with you the reason why. Again, nothing crazy nice, but again, for the area, for where it is located and the size, it seems like a deal until you understand that it's got a land lease fee. So watch out for land lease fees in Scottsdale. That is something that you need to be careful of when you're searching for deals and you're finding a property that looks a lot less than some of the others that are in the comparable search criteria. There are several communities that have land lease fees where, look, on this one, you're paying $1,000 a month that goes to the land lease on top of their HOA fees and that type of thing. So watch out for that. Land lease fees will always sneak up on people. All right, the last 2 items on my list are going to have to do with searching for new builds, because I know a lot of you are searching for new construction. That just seems to be one of the most desirable things to try to get into when you're coming out here. The resale market is difficult. You want to find something that's brand new that you can move right into that looks like a good deal. You hear builders are offering good discounts, that type of thing. So there's 2 things when it comes to builders that I want you to watch out for. Number 1, and this has to do with Zillow actually. So it's kind of a combination between new builds and Zillow, but I had one of my clients bring this up the other day. This is a property that is showing on Zillow that it's located in Queen Creek. And so we were looking out in Queen Creek and this property came up and it didn't hit my search. And so I went into it. When I bring in to the MLS on my end, it's in Santan Valley. So you might think no big deal, Queen Creek versus Santan Valley, they're right next to each other. But from a perspective of like location wise, if you're looking in Queen Creek and you say Zillow's going to bring up something in Queen Creek and then all of a sudden you see something and you bring it up, it's in Santan Valley, that can be a pretty big difference time-wise. So this doesn't seem like a big drive, but if you actually map this out into certain areas around here, it could be about an extra 15 to 20 minute drive to get further south into Santan Valley. So that's one thing you need to look at there. The other thing when it comes to new builds on the MLS is a lot of times you're going to see the base prices of the home and you might not get full transparency when it comes to what it's going to add up to be once you add in all your options. prices, that type of thing. So what you see is the potential deal. Maybe they're showcasing a model. This is where pictures come into play too. They might show pictures of a model. They'll give you the base price of a home, and they'll show pictures of a model that are basically like way higher priced. So those are the things to watch out for as well. So when it comes to new builds, you got to watch out for those kind of potential tricks that people get drawn into to reach out to the builder directly. We're here to help guide you, and we can help you navigate that so you don't fall for some of that trickery. So now that you know all the things that you need to watch out for while you're searching around online, what happens when you actually find the right home and you get under contract? What do you need to do at that point? Well, that's why I wanted to provide a document that we have here called the buyer advisory. That's going to give you all the things that you need to look for once you go under contract in your due diligence period while you're doing inspections on the property. I think that's an important document to know as well. That's far more extensive than what we just went through, but I wanted to give you that up front here so that you kind of know some of the things you need to watch out for once you're making a move here to Arizona. All right, so if you guys are interested in the buyer advisory, I kind of want to take you through that and kind of what that can help guide you through as well. There are so many things you need to be aware of before you are shopping for a home out here in Arizona and in general. I think this could help you not only here in Arizona, but in other states as well. When it comes to documents that you should review, common physical conditions in the property, this is going to take you through a lot of that, especially when it comes to stuff here in Arizona, conditions affecting the area surrounding the property, any other methods about getting information on the property, that type of thing. So everything that you need to know kind of takes you through. This is the document that we're happy to share with you guys prior to kind of doing the search, just so you can kind of get a better idea on what you need to watch out for, things that you might need to be wary of before you make any decisions out here, because we know a lot of people are trying to make decisions from out of state before they come out here. We want to make sure that you're prepared in every way possible. So if you're interested in this document, let us know. We'll get it to you. Again, guys, your feedback's important to us. If you think we missed anything on the list, let us know down in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. And as always, we're here to help guide you in the right direction when it comes to finding the best places and neighborhoods to live, and we absolutely love it. So if you're thinking about making the move and you need any assistance whatsoever, give us a call, send us a text, shoot us an email, however you want to get a hold of us. We got your back, and until the next video, we'll catch you later.